In case you didn't get to watch the video from last week, we reviewed store-bought versus homemade hot cross buns. I'll give you a spoiler. The hot cross buns from home reigned supreme.
Much softer and more moist. This one takes the cherry on the cake. Promise.
I say that.
It's not just because of yours.
We've pre-weighed all the ingredients and now you want to pop the milk into the microwave just to warm up. We can add the flour into a bowl, and that is 4 cups of flour. And then the caster sugar, we need a half a cup of caster sugar that we're adding in. Then you're going to add in your instant yeast, and that is 3 teaspoons of instant yeast. Your salt, half a teaspoon of salt. Cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 2 teaspoons of allspice. Now you want to just give all those dry ingredients a quick mix until thoroughly combined. Now let's add the wet ingredients. We'll start off with getting the zest of 1 orange, and then that milk that we warmed up in the microwave that isn't scorching hot but just lukewarm. There you have 1.5 cups of full fat milk going in, and then 50 grams of unsalted butter that's been melted and cooled, 1.5 cups of raisins, and 1 egg at room temperature for best results. The raisins can also be a mixture of cranberries, sultanas, any dried fruit to your preference. Let's mix everything for 5 minutes until we have a smooth and elastic dough. The dough might be a bit sticky, and for that we have a contingency of extra flour that you can add in another 1/4 cup of cake flour, and that's just so that the dough comes away from the sides of the bowl and isn't super sticky on your fingers. But overall, for this recipe, you want to add as little extra flour as you can. Cover that baby up with some cling wrap and find a warm spot in your kitchen. And this can take anywhere from 30 minutes to half an hour to double in size. And once we have it doubled in size, you want to take that risen dough out, take the cling wrap off, and now's the fun part. Punch it down. Let all that air out. Just sprinkle some flour onto the surface, but remember, we overall still want to use as little flour as possible. Plump that dough onto the surface. Don't forget about any raisins. And once we have that dough on the surface, we want to start forming it into a log, because if it is a consistent log, that will mean that we can have evenly sized cut pieces. And here you can see us cutting the dough or the log in half, and then again each half into half. So then you'll have 4 pieces, and then with each piece you'll cut it into 3. So you'll cut down twice, and then you'll have 3 pieces. So then you'll end up with 12 pieces. And with 1 piece, you'll gather it and bundle it up like a money bag. Money, money, money. This will stretch one side into a smooth round dome, and then you'll roll the ball to be as smooth as possible. So essentially you have money bag, roll, and then repeat. Money bag, roll, repeat. Money bag, roll, repeat. And you do that 12 times until you have all your balls formed. Now you want to plop them onto the parchment paper. All 12 of them. A row of 4, a row of 4, and a row of 4. Now they'll do their second rise. So cling wrap it, put it in a warm spot again, and let it rise for 40 minutes. And while it's rising, you'll have your simple mix of water and flour. And the trick is really to get the consistency right. You don't want it too thin and then it's going to move all over the hot cross bun. And you don't want it too thick that it ends up being stiff on your bun. The easiest way to go about this is just to start going with one row, one row, one row, and then you do the columns down, 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 and down. That is just the simplest way instead of doing one hot cross bun at a time. And this is where I realized I made a mistake. I should have egg washed it before the crosses. So if you come to this point, I'm sorry that I've dragged you along with the crosses, but actually move back, put the egg wash on the hot cross buns before you put the crosses on. But I am so desperate for this nice brownie color that I'm going to go through the painstaking effort of going between the crosses with my little brush. And the egg wash consists of an egg yolk and 3 tablespoons of cream. And I know how painstaking it must be just to watch this, so I'm just going to show you the end of the egg wash. Then in an oven that's been preheated on 180 degrees Celsius, take that baking tray and put it in the oven, and these are going to bake for 22 minutes. But actually, the best way to evaluate the doneness of the hot cross buns is by the appearance. Grab a hold of that parchment paper, lift the hot cross buns, and put it onto a cooling rack. It is going to be so tempting to eat one straight from the oven, especially with these smells wafting around. But you have to, it is essential to let them cool slightly. If you taste one right out of the oven, it will taste gummy. And as you saw, the hot cross buns looked delicious and would taste absolutely delicious without a glaze. But the glaze makes it that much better. So here we are compiling the glaze. It is 3/4 cup icing sugar, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 tablespoon of milk. And you mix it all about. If you find that the glaze is too viscous, you can put it into the microwave for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and it comes out a lot more runny, which will also help with putting it on the hot cross bun. My kitchen is officially full of the smell of Easter. But now it's your turn to go forth and conquer those hot cross buns. Until next time, thanks for watching.